Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, where you are. I am David, and this is the Quiet Time Piano presents Tech, Music, and Impact. And do we have a program for you today? I have the pleasure of talking to one of the industry leaders in this market. What are we talking about? Metadata. What are we talking about? Metadata. It's like, David, what is metadata? Why do I care about that? What is that even all about? Oh man, so I'm not gonna belabor the point, but before we get there, I just wanted to say this real quick. It's like, give me your email. Oh man, give me your email. Listen, we're trying to build the mailing list, and so this is one way. I just ask, hey, if you want to give it, make up a fake one and give me that, but check it, because important message is going to be coming your way. Oh man, and so this program is also powered by Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live is what's allowing me to be able to get my head in the shot, as well as do all the things like say good morning to Miss Ruby. Thank you for coming through. It's so good to see you here. It's like, wait, Dave, only 3 people? Is everyone on? Did they get the notice? Is it the right stream? Yes, they're on, because we're on. And so we're just so happy that you are here. We're powered by Ecamm. It's also powered by the 3 Little Pigs. What are the 3 Little Pigs? It's just the most hilarious version of this story that I have ever heard. Produced, directed, and acted out by Corey Staten, the blind guy. You can check him out, as well as make sure that you have what you need. Now, I am just going to go straight to the point. Today, we have with us the one and only Keith Kirk. I can't introduce him the way that Corey can, the blind guy. He's like, I should have asked Corey to introduce him. Bring him on just for the introduction, but no, we're here to talk about what metadata is all about, and I've been talking about this for weeks, right? So we want to give a good quiet time piano TMI podcast welcome to Keith Kirk. He has been a pioneer in this field in letting people know what metadata is. I first heard about this. I've known Keith for years. Grew up in the same island. I was maybe a few years ahead of him in school, but we were able to come together with music as the glue for our friendship, and we're just talking about it backstage. Is like, I remember when I was just like, oh man. But I'm not going to give all the stories now. We're going to talk about it as we go on. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please give the welcome to Keith Kirk.
Hey.
Hey,
Thank you,
man.
thank you.
You are so welcome, Keith, man. It's really, really, really a joy and a pleasure for me to have you on to talk about metadata and what that is. But before we get there, you just give us a little bit of your origin stories, like where is Keith Kirk? Who is Keith Kirk? And can you give us a little bit about how you got into what you're doing now?
Right. So, uh, originally from London, born in the UK, and then my mom had the great idea of sending me to the island, like most Caribbean parents abroad do. They send their
Mm-hmm.
kids back to the islands,
Yep.
and so um, I was sent there when I was about 2 years old, and went back to England when I was about nine, and then I came back to Trinidad in like 91, 92,
Okay.
and it was the best thing she could have done for me. Send me to Trinidad specifically at the former Caribbean Union College, where there was just a breath of
Yeah.
music and groups and just everything happening there.
Wow.
And I got into music with you guys. You guys were, as I was saying off air, I'm here because of David Hunt. I'm
Wow.
doing what I'm doing because of David Hunt, right? Um, and it's
Wow.
literally I don't take that lightly, because it's a fact, and it's literally taken me all the way through from then till now, right? Because I pull from that experience,
Yeah.
and it continues to fuel me and to drive me forward. Um,
Wow.
so after I left there, went back to London again. Um, I got into uh, I went to university, um, and then I got a job at an organization called PPL, which is your version of Sound Exchange.
Okay.
Sound Exchange remits royalties for digital performances, right?
Yeah.
So anything that's um, non-interactive streaming, they pay those royalties out. So I was working
When you
on
say
that organ.
non-interactive streaming, just talk about
Oh,
that a little bit.
okay, so non-interactive streaming means non-interactive digital streaming is Pandora and XM
Okay.
Radio or any digital internet radio station that where the music is curated for you.
Yeah.
You can't stop, play, rewind, all that kind of
Okay.
stuff. You can't
Right.
build playlists, right? So Sound Exchange pays out royalties for those type of streams.
Wow.
They
Good.
do neighboring rights as well. We can talk about that a bit later on, but that's mainly what they pay out on. So I was working there for a few weeks, and then I get this call from Universal, and I was like, "What? Universal?" Um, they said, "Oh, we'd like to see you. Can you come down?" It was literally after work. Everybody had already gone home, and these two gentlemen was in this office. It was like, "Look, we got this job here. We need another person. Blah blah blah. Are you interested?" That's
Yeah.
basically what the interview was. I was like, "Yeah, okay." I
Wow.
didn't care what it was. I'm at Universal Music. Hey, yeah,
That's
sure.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that kind of
Wow.
started my career, my journey on this metadata, in the metadata industry, because I was one of two metadata training analysts at Universal Music, right? So
Wow.
that's kind
Now,
of
is
how it
that
started.
Universal UK or just
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
the
Very good.
UK office. Yeah.
All right. So let's get straight to it.
Mhm,
People are wondering. It's like,
mhm.
David, what is metadata and why do we care about it?
Right. So metadata is probably the most boring topic you can talk about, right? Let's just get that out the way. It's not glamorous. It's not, it's not show business. It's not touring. It's not recording and collaborating with other artists, but it's it's like if you don't have a metadata strategy and you don't have your metadata in place, it's almost like if you don't have blood running through your veins, right?
Wow.
Um, it's that important. So I'm gonna use this illustration with this product here. Right? I'm not endorsed by them or anything like that. Right? So we've got this Nivea body cream here, right?
Okay.
And let's just say that the Nivea body cream is the company that creates and manufactures this product, right?
Yep.
So Nivea creates and manufactures this product. Um, but in order for people to know what the product is about, well, not even people, when they deliver this product to like Publix or Walmart, Publix and Walmart have to know information about this product in order to uh, send a report back to Nivea about how many products have been sold and how much revenue have been generated from this product.
Mm.
So on the product itself, there's the name of the company, some other information here, and on the back you have even more information about the product, including the
The
barcode,
barcode.
which is probably the most important item on this product. And embedded in this barcode is information about the manufacturer, the product, who owns the product, stuff like that. Right? So just keep that in mind. Now, the same concept comes to when you're talking about you as a songwriter manufacturing songs and then delivering those songs to DSPs like Spotify and
Mm.
iTunes,
Yep.
right? So Nivea manufactures this product and delivers it to Walmart. You are a songwriter, the product,
Yep.
the manufacturer that manufactures songs and delivers those songs to Spotify. Let's go with that. Now, when it goes over to Spotify, again, bearing in mind that 100 million plus songs are uploaded to digital service providers, that's what DSP stands for,
Digital
every year.
service providers. Yeah. Every year.
Yes,
100 million.
every year. 100 million plus,
Good
right? It's a
night.
lot of songs, right?
No, you say
And here,
100 million new songs every year?
every year, 100 million plus. So it's more than 100 million that is
Wow.
delivered to these platforms.
Wow.
So you can understand the type of money that's been generated. It's a
Yeah.
lot of money, right?
Hmm.
However, the issue in the music business that there is no clear way of okay, these songs have generated this much of revenue. This
Okay.
revenue goes
Yeah.
to this person and this person and this person. There is no clear anything, right?
Wow.
So what happens is that you send the song to the DSPs. The DSPs then has to send the report, the usage report, back to the PRO, the Performing Rights Organization, like BMI or Ascap.
Right.
Then BMI and Ascap has to go through the crazy ordeal of matching the revenue to the song.
And therefore the
Matching.
artist, the artist or the
Yes.
producer and the writer and
Artists. That's right.
all the people that would need to get paid
Royalties.
from the royalties.
Uh, uh-huh.
Wow.
So
Okay,
let
that's a
me
lot. Go ahead.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So let me. Okay. So the issue is because they have to manually match. A lot of times that matching doesn't really happen in the right way, and so contributors, which are the people who are involved in the song, whether it's the producer, the songwriter, background vocalist, also get royalties from Sound Exchange, right? Um, Sometimes you can't find the information, or it's not accurate,
Mm,
or it's not there
yeah,
vis-a-vis, yeah? It's not
yeah.
present. The information is not present. So we can't pay you out.
Wow. Okay, man. I had never really thought about it like that. Even though you did send me the article to read, and I read it all the way through, and I was just like, um, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this
yeah.
is where Kirk comes. I mean, Keith comes in. Oh, wow.
Uh-huh,
Listen, I just, while we're paused, I just want to say thank
uh-huh.
you to Ruby, Mrs. B. Finesse, G. Albert, Laquita Blind Guy, his wife. That's the guy with the three little pigs. Um, Iris, thank you for coming through. Simon and Homesick Mac. It is. I just want to just shout them. Oh no! Wait a minute! I didn't mean to click. Ruby, I didn't mean to click on your comment. If you have a question, this is what I was going to say. If you have a question that you would like to ask Keith about the music business or about metadata in particular, you can go about and do that. But I have some questions already lined up. So you've talked about metadata. It's kind of like all the pieces of what the song or even, and I'm believing the same thing happens for movies and for
Yes,
um like if you have a art piece of art of some
yes,
kind, and it's printed digitally, you're going to have metadata about it
that's
because
correct.
when it comes in, they have to know, okay, what is this and who are all the hands that have touched it, as well as what are the ingredients. They're like,
Uh-huh,
it
uh-huh,
has sugar and pepper because people are
uh-huh.
like, I'm allergic to oil. I can't put this on my skin.
That's
It's
right.
like you want to be able to identify that,
Yeah.
and so that is all
Yes.
stored in the metadata.
Uh-huh,
So you now got hired by Universal.
uh-huh.
What exactly? I'm not sure if you want to go into a day to day, what a day to day metadata specialist does, but what does a metadata
Uh-huh.
specialist do, and
Okay.
what
So
do we
at
need them for?
Universal,
Mhm.
right. So at Universal specifically, what happens because metadata is so important, they created this department to quality check the metadata. So Universal has offices all over the globe, and every day they're releasing music. Every day, and they will send us those releases to the London offices to check the metadata.
Wow.
We're just checking the metadata to make sure that it's correct and it's right and it's accurate. And also because Spotify, iTunes, and those DSPs are very specific about how metadata appears on their platform.
Okay. No,
So
are they
if you don't,
different? Are they different?
slightly, just slightly, but basically the same thing, right?
Hmm.
So you can't have things like, I always remember this one. You can't have an unofficial artist, which means an official compound artist is Simon and Garfunkel.
Yep.
Um, what's his name? McCartney and Lennon.
Okay.
Hootie and the Blowfish,
Yep.
right? So anytime you
Yep.
have something and something, that's an that's what they call a compound artist.
So, a compound artist as opposed to just an artist. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
like Sting or
Uh-huh.
Take Six or the
Mm-hmm.
band like Chicago
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
but if you have someone like BB and
And
CC,
CC,
okay,
that's an official compound artist,
it's
right?
KC and
But
JoJo,
Casey and JoJo, exactly.
Okay.
So, but they are also artists in their own right as well. So you have CC Winans and BB
Yep.
Winans,
Right.
but you also have BB and CC.
Yep.
So if you sent through metadata with David Hunt and Conrad Roach, and you're not an official compound artist, we have to send that back for you to change that. We couldn't
Wow.
change it. You have to make the change. And here's the kicker about this whole thing. Um, iTunes and Spotify would actually score Universal on the rate of clean data they consistently send on a daily or weekly basis. Meaning, yeah, we're scored.
Wow.
And we have to maintain a 97 and above percentile to keep a direct access to iTunes and Spotify. So direct access means if you did an album, David, and you wanted to get
Yep.
your music to iTunes, you have to go through a digital distributor. You have to go
Okay.
through a third party that then sends your music on.
Like
Organize
DistroKid or
TuneCore, CD
TuneCore, CD
Baby,
Baby.
etc.
Right.
Yeah, and there's a whole load of them now. Right? But you organizations like Universal, Sony, Warner, those big players, they
Yep.
have direct access to iTunes and Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they're releasing their music, they send it straight to iTunes, right? But it's at a cost. You have to get that stuff right. Have to.
Wow. Wow.
So that's what I did at Universal. Now, as a metadata specialist, I basically help artists, songwriters, music publishers, labels, and anybody who owns the rights to a piece of music. I help you curate the metadata, right?
Okay.
And there's
So that
lots of
it will flow into all of the different spaces that it needs to go correctly.
that's right. That's right.
Okay.
You have the right name, you have the right splits, you got the all the identifiers, like there's the IPI, the ISRC, the ISNI, the IPN. There's a whole load of identifiers now that you need to have, right?
Right.
Numbers that represent the product.
Okay.
You need to
So now
have those.
those are things that DistroKid, TuneCore, CD Baby would do for you. Let's say if you're an independent artist, because a lot of the people that I deal with are going to be independent artists. Um,
No,
or
you
do
have to do
you
it
have to
yourself.
create your own
Mhm.
ISN and ISI and ISP and all this? Well, ISP
Okay.
is Internet Service Provider. No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so no, what happens is that um, the DSPs nor the digital distributor will do any of that for you, right? You have to do it. Now, if you're signed to a label like Sony or Universal, they're doing
Yep.
all that for you.
Right.
But as an independent artist, you have to curate your metadata yourself.
Wow.
Um, and just as an educational note, um, once you're a member of BMI or Ascap, they automatically assign an IPI number to you as a songwriter, right?
Okay.
That stands for the interested parties information, right? Which means that that number that they assign to you, if you're in BMI and I plug that number into PRS in London, it
Mm-hmm.
will bring up all your information about David Hunt
Okay.
as a songwriter. Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So I we've answered the question, what is metadata? We've answered the question, what a specialist does. We've answered the question of why it is important, even though we didn't actually ask that
Mm-hmm.
question. It was already answered. Because
Mm-hmm.
why is it important? Because it helps to identify you, identify the
Yeah.
work that you've done, and correlate those two in a way that when they say, hey, we have money to give you, do you want it?
Right. That's right. That's it. That's it.
Oh, man. So, talking about this, what is the number one mistake
Mm-hmm.
that you see uh, creatives, musicians, especially because we're talking really at this point, we're talking about music metadata. What is the
Yeah.
number one mistake that you see being made?
Um, I guess one of the biggest mistakes. Sometimes there's so many, but some. The thing is, people will put a name out there, right? And then
Hmm.
for some reason, they want to change that name to something else, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And if that's not corrected properly, there will be issues in paying you out because we don't know if the name that you had before and the new name correlate to you. There's two
Okay.
names out there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and even further on that, there may be 10,000 David Hunts out there.
I don't
Which
believe that's true.
one?
I don't believe that's true, but go ahead.
there may be.
Actually,
You
there
never
is.
know,
There
right?
is.
There may be a whole lot of David Hunts out there. Which one of the David Hunt needs to get this $15,000? Right? And what
Hmm.
happens is because we don't know, or we can't find you, or we can't zone into which one you are, another David Hunt will get your money.
Wow.
That happens. Another person called David Hunt gets your money.
That's crazy.
So it's a big mess. But what I want to really sink home and get into the minds of people is that, first of all, this relates to people who are songwriters and write music, put music out, and you own the masters to those records, right? You're basically the ones I'm talking to. And
Okay.
secondly, we've all heard Jay-Z say that I'm a business man, right? I'm a
Yeah.
business. You are. But I don't even think he understands the ramifications of what that is. Well, he probably does.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah. Yeah.
but going back to my Nivea example, you are David Hunt is David Hunt LLC. You're the company that manufactures these set of songs.
Yep.
And when this manufactured, you now deliver those songs to the stores, DSPs, to be
Yep.
sold. But you have to tell the store that those songs are yours, right?
Yeah.
So one way they do that basically is something through something called an ISRC code, right? International Standard Recording Code.
Yep.
Um, and the barcode, which is a UPC code. Now,
Yep.
those two codes are extremely important. But here's the thing: a lot of independent artists they go to DistroKid or CD Baby, TuneCore, and those companies will ask you, "Do you have an ISRC code?" Sorry, the echo is making me kind of
Do you have
stumble a little bit.
do you have the stream open still?
I don't know. Do I have to close it?
Or mute it? You could just mute it.
I, I don't know how
I
I
forgot
mute.
to mention that before. I'm hearing you fine. Hey, let us know if you're hearing us fine out there. It's probably you're just you that's
Yeah,
hearing the echo.
yeah,
I
I'm
don't
hearing the
hear an
echo.
echo.
Okay,
Is
that's
this
fine. That's fine. Um, yeah. the ISRC code and the UPC code are a husband and wife code, right? Very important, very, very important, especially in the digital space. But as an independent artist, you go to CD Baby, TuneCore, DistroKid, and they will ask you, do you have one of these codes, or would you like us to give you one? Now, most people don't have the codes, right? You don't have it. So you say, oh, yeah, I'll take it. It's free. Oh, you're giving me for free? Okay, yeah, I'll take it. Here's the problem. Now, they're not doing anything wrong, right? By offering you these codes, that's totally fine. But here's the thing. If, again, let's go back to my Nivea example. I'm not endorsed by them or anything like that. If, let's say, David Hunt manufactures this Nivea, and then I put my code on his product, what do you think
Uh,
happens?
it goes back to them.
Ah, spot on, David. Spot on. The revenue report and the usage report has to go to the the company, the individual or the entity that's embedded in this code,
Hmm.
even though this code belongs to David Hunt. It's going to come to me because my name is on the code. And by law, whoever's name is embedded in this code, they are the person or entity that
Yo,
has the right to see the revenue report, not you.
wow.
So when you get residuals from DistroKid or TuneCore or CD Baby, you haven't seen the revenue report, you know. You're just getting whatever they paid out to you. But you haven't seen exactly how much money is coming in on your record. So
That's
I
crazy.
just want to get clear in your mind that you as David Hunt LLC, need to get your own ISRC codes and your own UPC codes to put on your own product, i.e., your own songs,
All
not
right.
someone else's ISRC code or someone else's UPC code.
All right, all
Yeah?
right, all right, all right, all right, all right. This is kind of like drinking water from a fire hose, Keith. You cold kill the people. All right, so that's that's
Yeah.
that's actually pretty good. I like how you mentioned that there, especially if you're going through DistroKid or Gumroad or
Hmm.
hey, Shireen is saying hello over here in the comments. Um, yeah. That's good. So there are a few questions that came through. Um, is like I
I'm seeing
remember
a
when you
question by. No,
what
go ahead. Go ahead, yeah, bro.
both had a lot of hair on the top of your head. Albert
Wow,
is a
that's
Albert
somebody.
likes to stir up stuff.
Wow.
Um, so let's see. Homesick. It's good to see you, Albert. Yes, I believe Albert is back home. Mac. He was asking the question. Albert, you home? Let me just bring this down a little bit so it's more over here. All right. So when you look at the property and filer on the Mac is equal to metadata. I guess that's one way of looking. You look at the details
Hmm.
of a file. It will tell you like
Yes.
the metadata. So like the file name,
Yes.
what's the size, that sort of a thing.
Resolution.
Resolution,
All
yeah.
that.
Those
Hmm.
metadata. Thank you, Mrs. B Finesse, for sharing on your community tab. Mrs. B Finesse is a YouTuber dealing more
Mm.
with content, not necessarily music. Mac, hello everyone, happy Wednesday. Is guitarist. He's in Sweden, just
Mm.
bringing it in things. So here's Laquita's question. So are things like third party distribution a point of slowing down discovery because the metadata must be independently curated? we have digital distribution, but aren't on ASCAP and BMI. So what they, at least
Mhm.
the initial one that I talked about here, the Three Little Pigs remix is what I believe Laquita is talking to me. Laquita, you could let me know if there is something else. Um, so the question is, third-party distributors slowing down discovery because of metadata.
No, no, no. They are not in control per se of your metadata. So it all depends on how much metadata you deliver to the platform. Um,
Okay.
will result in the effectiveness of discovery, right?
Mm, okay.
Some digital distributors accept more metadata than others. So, like DistroKid, they accept a lot of metadata. And when I work for my clients, I fill in everything,
Yeah.
everything, because it's so important. And um, metadata even goes with your channel, David. And I see that you actually fill out your description, right, to the
Yep.
max. That
I try.
aids, yeah,
Okay.
that aids in discovery, right? On the
Wow.
Google analytics and everything, naming your channel and putting the links and all these things. All of
Wow.
that is the metadata that aids discovery. But
Okay,
if
so you're
you
talking
are,
about then like for the algorithm to find
Mhm.
what it
Yes,
is you're putting out there. Okay.
yes, yes.
Wow.
So I was looking at your description. I was like, hey, yeah, he's done this correctly. But just to go back to Blind Guy, his wife, and their life, um, if you're a songwriter, you should be a member of ASCAP and BMI. Um, if you've released music commercially, you want to be a member of ASCAP or BMI, right?
Um wow. Okay. Which one, I mean I guess they both are reputable organizations.
Yes. Yeah.
But which one pays more? I wonder if even that's a good question to ask.
I look at some of my favorite artists and see what they use, and a lot of my favorite artists are with BMI.
Yeah.
A lot of my favorite artists are with BMI. But you know, um, here's the
Yeah,
thing
I
about
we
that
had done
question.
a project like I
Mhm,
don't know, maybe like
mhm.
oof.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that. Yep, yep.
And
We are
at the
persuaded, boy.
time I was a member of ASCAP, but I think I've let it
Hmm.
lapse, but I need to get back to it again. That's one of the reasons why, folks, that Quiet Time Piano hasn't brought it back. I really need to get my act together. So let's talk about that, Keith. If
Mm.
you're an artist, if you're an aspiring artist, what are the things that we need to, yes, you don't want to get a lawyer, make sure that
Yeah.
you're not utilizing copywritten material. We didn't talk about copyright or anything like that. I'm
Hmm.
sure
Hmm.
you probably could just touch on that real
Hmm.
briefly. But um what do you or I as an independent artist need to do to really, one, make sure that we have the right metadata after we've got BMI and ASCAP and all these guys
Hmm.
on board?
Yes.
What do we need to do? Maybe I should say,
Well,
how do we contact you?
I was just about to say that. Yeah. If you're really serious about getting this right, you need to work with someone like myself, right? Because
Hmm.
I'm just touching the surface here. There's a lot of things that needs to be done and put in place, and
Yep.
identifiers and uploading your music to certain platforms, and there's a lot of moving parts. Now, I have a metadata sheet that I'm willing to give you for free for your audience that will have all the data inputs that you need to have before releasing your songs commercially, right?
Okay.
So that's the first thing you need to do is to get the metadata, curate all the metadata and all the bits and pieces that you need to have so that when the song goes out there, any company or any organization or any digital service can recognize your song and pay you the money. Now, here's the thing. Cobalt did a study a few years back where they determined, right, that there's about 900,000 individual revenue streams for one song.
Oh no, this is a
900,000.
stop the tape. You gotta stop the tape. Just pause. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
you can actually Google that
900,000 pieces of or streams of revenue for
for one song.
one
Mhm.
song or one podcast or
Yes, podcast. Here's the thing, as you said, podcast, David. Um, One of the founders of TuneCore, his name is Jeff Price. He's actually now started a organization to collect royalties for comedians.
wow.
So this is what we have to understand in this world we're living in right now. Any type of content, specifically audio content, can be monetized. Any kind of audio. So podcasts, ebooks, right? Audiobooks, that's what I mean.
Yep.
Audiobooks,
Hmm.
music, any type of audio that's going out into the digital universe can be monetized. So he found that a lot of comedians, like what's this guy that they hailed as the greatest comedian ever, Richard Pryor, and all these
Hmm.
guys, they recorded a lot of their routines. And a lot of those
Wow.
routines are being used on so many different platforms and generating revenue to the tune of like some $1.1 billion of uncollected revenues from
Yep.
these streams of these comedians. So he has a whole separate organization that's collecting revenue for those streams. Podcasts, if you've got a podcast and you're putting it out there, it can earn and generate revenue, right?
Man.
But going back to what you were saying, the second thing you need to do as an independent artist, you need to do three things. You need to register with Ascap or BMI,
Hmm.
bearing in mind that they only collect public performance revenues. So if your
Okay.
song plays live on radio, on traditional radio or terrestrial radio, or someone covers, well, no, that's mechanical, right?
Yep.
So
Mechanical
public
license.
performance, yeah, royalties. Um, then you need to register with Song Trust, who is a publishing administrator. They collect your mechanicals.
Okay.
ASCAP and BMI does not collect mechanicals. So you have to register with Songtrust to pick up those mechanicals, right? And I have a code that can get you 20% off, something like that, right? And the third organization you need to be with is Sound Exchange, right? Because Sound Exchange collects your non interactive streaming royalties or digital performance royalties, right? So
Wow.
those at minimum, if you're a songwriter and you're releasing music, you need to be with ASCAP or BMI, Song Trust, and Sound Exchange, right? Now you can
So
be
ASCAP
a
and
right
BMI, Sound
ASCAP and BMI,
Trust. Is it
Song,
song as an SONG trust?
yes, Song Trust, yeah,
Song
SONG,
Trust
Song Trust,
and
and Sound Exchange.
Sound Exchange. Okay.
Sound Exchange. Now you can be a writer member with ASCAP and set up your publishing company with BMI, right? But you can't
Okay.
be. a writer member with both PROs,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
So yeah,
Wow. That's
that's what making them.
that's amazing. Okay, I know
And when
there's a
you've done
lot.
all that, come to me so I can help you with that metadata. We can't cover everything that needs to be done in this podcast.
Yep.
It's a whole lot of stuff that you need to get right.
All right. So, how do people um get a hold of you?
You can link with me on Instagram. I'm seeing someone saying my
Yeah,
Instagram
no,
link
it's
is broken.
I'm just
That
checking
may be
it out
me.
now. Motif
Motif music
Music Services.
service. Yeah.
Wait a
Um,
minute. Hold on, Laquita. I don't know what I did wrong. What have I done? What have I done to deserve this? Um yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, let's see here. If I go to the YouTubes, I see us talking there. I need to mute this tab. Okay.
I just want to answer that question. So when we got our UPC codes from City Baby and Gumroad, they are getting the lion's share of the profits.
Okay.
Let's just say that you don't get to see the actual revenue report. You don't know
Ah,
if you made
okay.
$100 or $1,000. Whatever they remit to you is what you get, right? Because if they're giving out these codes for free, they have to make the money back because they've purchased these codes, and they have to purchase hundreds of thousands of these codes. So they got to make the money back somewhere, right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Said the Instagram link is broken. What happens is I put it in, but YouTube shortens it, and when they shortened it, it just has motif
Motive.
musics dot dot dot. All right. The,
Yeah, I
the
don't know
the
why.
code is supposed to be in the background, but the shortened version is not working. So Laquita, I posted that link directly. Motif Music Services. Motif Music Services on Instagram. Motif Music Services. I should probably change that. Let's see if we can change that right now. Motif Music Services. ERVICES. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put it on screen as well because I just copied what you sent me in the email,
Yes. Yeah.
right? But
I
for
thought I may have
some reason,
misspelt it or something.
no, it's the link is so long
It
that
shortens.
they shortened it. But when they shortened it, it's
Mhm.
not the full length
Yeah. I
because they have
don't know
to
why
do
that.
the YouTube.com redirect, and yeah, it's in there now. Now it works. The link works
Okay.
now. Look, oh, you know what it is? If you copy the link and try to paste it, it doesn't work. But the link works now. It wasn't working before. Okay, so in fact, let's zoom over there. I think we can go there right now. And so this
There
is
you go.
where it's
Um, I wanted to mention one of the identifiers they're pushing now. It's called an ISNI, International Standard Name Identifier. So we know that P Diddy has many names. P Diddy, Diddy, Puff Daddy. I think he's going by a Love now. That's a nightmare in the music business because you got
wow.
so many names.
Yeah.
So they created this. identifier now that will list all your names and previous names under one code, right? Um, and if you look at Rihanna's ISNI page, it's crazy. They even have the wrong spelling of her name.
Oh wow.
The wrong spelling, they got different translations, everything like that. So that it doesn't matter how they assume people, the SEO person assumes people are going to spell her name wrong. So even if you spell it wrong in Google, her profile will still come
Still
up.
show up.
Yes.
Psh. Now this works for
So,
search engine optimization as well, the
yes.
metadata.
Yes. After
Okay.
I get all the metadata together, curate all of that, then you want to work with an SEO specialist to pull everything together, especially online. Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot of things you have to prep before you actually release your music as an independent artist, because labels do a lot of this prep work for their artists before it
Yeah.
goes out.
Okay.
So I essentially act as your label, right? I do all the administration behind so that you're fully equipped to put your product out there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Mhm.
did we ask this question? So when you get our UPC code from CD Baby and Gumroad, then they're getting the lion's share of the profits?
Yeah, I answered that just now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, what it means is that you don't you blind guy LLC. Let's say you're the company called
Mm-hmm.
Blind Guy LLC that's manufacturing songs and delivering them to TuneCore. TuneCore is now putting their barcode on your song, which means that the report about how much products have been sold and revenue have been generated, that report does not go to Blind Guy LLC. It goes to TuneCore LLC.
Yeah, I believe theirs is called Atumpan Entertainment.
Ah,
It's a
right.
nonprofit,
Okay.
um but yeah, no, I understand exactly what it's like. She said, what did Laquita say? We have 3 other albums that we purchased packages for on Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, YouTube Music, or iTunes, YouTube Music.
Mhm.
The Three Little Pigs is the only one that they've independently released, and I believe that's on Gumroad.
Yes. But
Wow.
what uh what codes have you used and where did you get them from makes the difference here.
Yeah. 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 So that's important. So if you can generate your own codes, when they ask for it, you put those in, and then
Hmm.
you will get the reports, and not CD
Yes.
Baby and TuneCore,
Yes.
DistroKid.
Hmm.
Wow,
All
man,
the
that's
revenue has to be directed to you by law.
man. This has been really, really good, Keith. Thank you so much for just coming in and shedding the light. I feel now I have to go and do some serious prayer, because I have to get my life together. But seriously, it's really simple.
Hmm.
Get in touch with Keith. That's
Yep.
the bottom line. So if you
Hmm.
go to Instagram.com/motif music services, and Laquita is put it here. Get your royalties right.
Yep.
Contact Keith on Instagram at Motif Music Services, and he'll get you set up, get you squared away. Wow,
Absolutely.
wow, that is amazing. Do you have any closing words? Because it's coming right up 5 minutes until the hour. I have another question before we get to the parting words.
Mm-hmm.
We have a thing here. Is it okra or no okra? Where do you stand?
It depends on how it's made.
No, no. You're either for us or you're against
Ah,
us.
I'll have to say against, man. Don't like
Yes.
okra. I don't like it.
Thank you. Yeah. No, have you ever had okra that you appreciated?
Yeah, it was hidden in the food. I didn't know it was there.
Oh, okay. So they had to
Yeah,
hide it.
yeah.
Okay.
But no. Mm-mm. Give me some doubles any day.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Doubles and roti, and I'm
Doubles are
happy.
roti. So I was gonna
Yeah.
ask you about Vegemite
Mm.
or Marmite, but I don't know if you subscribe to that either.
Marmite.
Marmite?
Marmite. Yep.
Do they get Vegemite up there in the
I
UK?
I don't think I've ever seen it. No. No. Well, we got
You've
Marmite.
heard about it though, Vegemite.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
I've seen it. I've seen it.
but they don't really sell it around from where you are. Are you're in
Mm.
London? You're in
Yeah, I'm in
Nottingham?
London.
You're like, okay.
No, no, not that far. David's up in Nottingham.
Oh, okay.
I'm yeah, I'm closer to London than he is.
Okay.
He's like 3 hours from me. Yeah,
Oh wow. Cool.
yeah.
Cool. 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 It's like listen, Manchester United all the way, man. I'm just gonna say.
No, Liverpool. Sorry,
Sharp. No.
till I
All right.
die,
This is it.
Liverpool.
Nope. This is where we cut out. It's like, you gonna be talking about Liverpool over here? No, man, we don't subscribe.
That's
Oh
funny.
no, just kidding. All right, that's fine, man. Mac, Mac, come on. No, no, stop it. Okra in a stew can be great. No, that's good. So we'll take this though. Thank you both. You're welcome. You're welcome, Mac.
Thank you,
Um,
Mac.
yeah. And Laquita says she'll be reaching out. I'll be contacting
Great.
Keith on Instagram because the payouts we receive are making me pray too. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Keith. I want to say thank you for really coming through, man. You out here changing lives and making life better. You know, we have a saying around here, the MLB crew. That's what we're talking about. Okra and Marmite are the metadata of life.
Wow.
I don't know about okra. I don't know about the okra. Marmite, yes. Okra, no. Oh man, wow. We want to thank you so much for coming through and talking to us all about metadata, demystifying what it is and helping us realize its importance and getting it right. And
Yep.
so, for those of you who need to, and I know I'll be reaching out as well, I have your number, so we'll definitely be calling to make sure that we can get our metadata right. Thank you so much for coming through and sharing and demystifying that for us. Um,
Thanks for having me, man.
any parting words that you'd want to share?
Yeah, just don't get overwhelmed by all of this information. It's this type of thing is done by someone like me. So I help you with this. So you're
Yeah.
not on your own. I will help you to get through it.
Thank you so much, man. Wow, that's good. We trust and pray you have a wonderful day, fam. Wow, that was amazing. I thought I knew what I was thinking about. I went ahead and I looked and I read the articles and everything. And still, Keith was able to share so much more about it. Make sure you connect with him. Instagram.com/motif with an F as in Frank. Motif Music Services. Motif, you know what? I probably should just put that in. Motif. You know what? If I could only spell, we would be okay. And want to thank Keith for just really making that. Ooh, gonna make that bigger. At Motif Music Services. Okay, there we go. So you can get it. Oh man, we are so grateful for you, Keith, for making the difference on this. And so we're also grateful for you, the MLB crew. It's not Major League Baseball, but we're using our hands, our voice, and our heart, fueled by love, to hit a home run, make life better for you. That is the essence of the MLB crew. This has been TMI Podcast. We have been talking about metadata today, and we're so grateful to Keith for bringing it home. We're thankful for the folks also at Ecamm. We're also thankful to Atumpan Entertainment, Corey the Blind Guy, for the Three Little Pigs remix. This has been one for the ages, fam. Keep your eye out. We will be having more things like this for you as we go along. I've also been doing a little bit of a challenge, 30 songs in 30 days, where you can see these songs as they progress all the way through. I may be doing one of those live, creating the song live and putting it all together live. So Okra may be involved. We will let you know. All right. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next program on Friday, Freeform Friday, where you get to pick the songs as we think about technology, music, the impact that we can have together. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care now.